Hello guys, how are you doing? In the last couple of videos, we've talked about distance time and displacement time graphs in great detail. Now in today's video, we'll talk about speed time graphs and velocity time graphs in detail, which means we'll study the dependence of speed and velocity on time. So without wasting a single second, let's begin with our video. Now, as you already know, speed and velocity are similar physical quantities. We define speed as distance divided by time, while we define velocity as displacement divided by time. Now, speed is a scalar quantity, while velocity is a vector quantity. Now, velocity being a vector quantity means that it can take both positive and negative values depending on the sign convention that we choose. But that is not the case for speed. So, keeping these basic things in mind, I want you to take a look at these three graphs and I want you to comment on the motion of the object in each of these three individual cases. So guys, your time starts now. So, are you done? Well, I'm sure you are. Let's go ahead and analyze how the object moves in each of these three individual cases. So the first graph is a velocity time graph where we have a line parallel to the x-axis. So in the context of this graph, we can say that as the value of time is changing, the value of velocity is not changing. In other words, the object's velocity remains constant as the time passes. What does that mean? Well, it simply means that the object is undergoing a uniform velocity motion. The same thing is true in a speed time graph as well. A line parallel to the x-axis in a speed time graph also means that the object is undergoing uniform motion. Now, I want you to take a moment here and compare this with a similar looking displacement time graph. Now, in the last video you saw that a straight line parallel to the x-axis in a displacement time graph means that the object is at rest. The same is true in a distance time graph as well. So you can clearly see that a straight line parallel to the x-axis has completely different meaning in a velocity time graph and a speed time graph as compared to a displacement time graph or a distance time graph. So keep that difference in mind. Great, let's move on to the next graph. So over here you can see we have another velocity time graph, but this time we have a straight line that is not parallel to the x-axis. This straight line begins at the origin and extends out following a certain pattern. Now notice here that as the time value increases, the value of object's velocity also increases. At 1 second, the object's velocity is 3 meters per second. At 2 seconds, the object's velocity is 6 meters per second. At 3 seconds, it's 9 meters per second and so on. So every 1 second, we have an increase of 3 meters per second velocity. So what does this tell us? Well, this simply tells us that this object is undergoing a constantly accelerated motion. Or in other words, the object is moving at a constant acceleration. So guys, the next takeaway here is that a straight line in a velocity time graph always represents a constantly accelerated motion. We can calculate the exact value of this acceleration using the formula of slope of a line, which is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now in the context of a velocity time graph, y2 minus y1 is nothing but change in velocity because we have plotted velocity along the y-axis. Similarly, x2 minus x1 is nothing but change in time because we have plotted time along the x-axis. So over here we have change in velocity divided by change in time, which you already know from the previous videos is nothing but acceleration. So the formula of acceleration is basically the formula of slope of a straight line which is present in a velocity time graph. Now in this particular example you can see that our acceleration comes out to be 12 minus 0 divided by 4 minus 0. I have taken the origin point and the topmost point in our plot. Now over here the answer comes out to be 3 meters per second square. So we can say that the acceleration of this object over here is nothing but 3 meters per second square. Now apart from calculating the value of acceleration, we can also calculate the value of displacement of the object from its velocity time graph. And we do that using a technique called the area under the graph or the area under the curve. Let me explain. So guys, if you observe our straight line plot and the x-axis, you can see that together they seem to enclose a certain region or a certain area of the graph. This area looks triangular in shape. At the same time, you can also see that the area appears to be under our straight line plot. That's why we call this technique area under the curve. Now let's go ahead and calculate the area of this triangle using the formula that we already know, which is nothing but half into base into height. Now what is the value of base here? From the graph you can see it's 4 units along the x-axis. Similarly, what is the value of height? Well, it's 12 units along the y-axis. Now pay attention. We have chosen time on the x-axis, which means the unit along the x-axis is seconds. So we can say that the base of this triangle can be written as 4 seconds. Similarly, the unit along the y-axis is meters per second. So we can say that the height value can be written as 12 meters per second. Now once we plug in these values into our formula of area, we get the expression as 1 by 2 multiplied by 4 seconds, which is the base, and multiplied by 12 meters per second, which is the height. Now meters per second is simply m divided by s. Now s and s get cancelled and our answer comes out to be 24 meters. So in this example, the displacement of our object comes out to be 24 meters. Now I'm sure some of you are completely confused at this point. You are thinking, how on earth are we measuring the base of a triangle in terms of seconds? In other words, how can the base of a triangle be 4 seconds long? All our life in mathematics, we have used units like meters, centimeters, millimeters, etc. to measure the base of a triangle. How suddenly are we measuring the base of a triangle in terms of seconds? Well, you see, if you are thinking on these lines, I'd say your confusion is completely valid. But at the same time, I would also say that this is not very hard to understand. So let me explain. Well, the simple explanation is that area under the graph is an abstract mathematical tool and has nothing to do with the real area concept that you have studied all your life in mathematics. You see, area under the graph was a tool in our case over here which helped us extract the value of displacement from velocity time graph. We use this concept all the time in physics with respect to different graphs. But on the other hand, the concept of real area is exactly what you think it is. We always measure it in meter square, centimeter square, millimeter square, etc. So I never want you to confuse between these two concepts ever again. In fact, the only thing common between these two concepts is the formula of polygon's area that we use. For example, over here we had a triangle, so we use the formula half base into height. Now this formula is same for both these concepts, but apart from that, they have nothing in common between each other. So never confuse between these two. Great. So with that, we are done with the velocity time graphs, guys. But whatever we discussed for velocity time graphs also more or less apply to speed time graphs with minor adjustments. For example, a straight line in a speed time graph also shows a constantly accelerated motion, just like it does in a velocity time graph. Similarly, the slope of that straight line in a speed time graph can give us an idea about the acceleration of the object, just like it does in a velocity time graph. However, the area under the curve in a speed time graph gives us the value of distance, which in a velocity time graph was displacement. So now that you're clear about all these concepts, let's go ahead and solve a simple problem before we end this video. So over here, you can see a speed time graph of an object moving in a straight line. Now based on this graph, you are supposed to calculate the distance covered by the object throughout the course of its journey. Take some time and try getting the right answer. So guys, the right answer to this question is 125 meters, and the method to solve it is also very easy. You see, we just discussed that the area under the curve in a speed time graph gives us the value of distance. Over here, we have a straight line that starts all the way to the top and comes all the way to the bottom. So the area enclosed under this straight line is basically the triangle that I've highlighted over here. The base of this triangle is 5 seconds and the height of this triangle is 50 meters per second. So if I use the formula of area as half times base times height, I get the expression as 1 by 2 times 5 seconds times 50 meters per second. Upon solving this, I get the value of distance covered as 125 meters. So the distance covered by the object in this example is nothing but 125 meters. And with that guys, let's end our video today. In the next video, we'll solve some more problems based on all the graphs that we have studied till now. For now, let's summarize whatever we have learned so far in this video. In a velocity time graph, Velocity is the dependent quantity and therefore is always plotted along the y-axis, while time is the independent quantity and is always plotted along the x-axis. Similarly, in a speed-time graph, speed is the dependent quantity and is plotted along the y-axis, while time is the independent quantity and is plotted along the x-axis. In a velocity-time graph as well as a speed-time graph, a straight line parallel to the x-axis shows that an object is undergoing uniform motion. In a velocity-time graph, the slope of a straight line gives the exact value of acceleration. The slope of a straight line can be calculated using the formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. In both velocity-time graphs and speed-time graphs, a straight line plot essentially represents uniformly accelerated motion. Area under the curve in a velocity-time graph gives us the value of displacement, while the area under the curve in a speed-time graph gives us the value of distance.